It's the Uprising.
Welcome back to the Uprising. I'm Pac, and this is Adam Lumley. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. We're going to be reacting to the debate, that nightmare of a debate. And we're going to talk about the president getting the Rona and what's going to happen. And if he passes away, what's going to happen. And yeah, about all we're going to talk about. Yeah, much.
Yeah. All right. Well, should we start with the clip?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
We have
We
have ended this segment. We're going to move on to the second segment.
That was really a productive segment, wasn't it? Keep yapping, man.
The people understand, Joe.
They sure
47 years you've done nothing. They understand.
All right. The second subject is COVID-19, which is an awfully serious subject. So let's try to be serious about it. We have had more than 7 million cases of coronavirus in the United States, and more than 200,000 people have died. Even after we produce a vaccine, experts say that it could be months or even years before we come back to anything approaching normal. My question for both of you is, based on what you have said and done so far and what you have said you would do starting in 2021, why should the American people trust you more than your opponent to deal with this public health crisis going forward? In this case, the question goes to you first, sir. 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Pause it real quick.
200,000 dead.
I don't trust either one of these fucking idiots.
You know, the funniest part of that to me was 2 minutes to you, sir, uninterrupted.
Oh, good luck with that.
Jump over there like shit. Nah. Oh
luck
my
with that.
gosh.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, here we go.
As you said, over 7 million infected in the United States. We, in fact, have 5%, 4% of the gross population, 20% of the deaths. 40,000 people a day are contracting COVID. In addition to that, about between 750 and 1,000 people a day are dying. When he was presented with that number, he said, it is what it is. Well, it is what it is because you are who you are. That's why it is. The president has no plan. He hasn't laid out anything. He knew all the way back in February how serious this crisis was. He knew it was a deadly disease. What did he do? He's on tape as acknowledging he knew it. He said he didn't tell us or give people a warning of it because he didn't want to panic the American people.
Why does Joe Biden always look like he
panicked.
opened the present on Christmas?
What did he do? He went in and we were insisting that the Chinese
And every time it
we have on the
sucks.
ground in China should be able to go to Wuhan and determine for themselves how dangerous this was.
Joe just got another
He did
pair of
not even
socks.
ask Xi to do that. He told us what a great job Xi was doing. He said we owe him a debt of gratitude for being so transparent with us. And what did he do then? He then did nothing. He waited and waited and waited. He still doesn't have a plan.
Wrong.
I laid out
Sir,
back
it's
in
just 2
March
minutes.
exactly
So
what we
wrong.
should be doing. And I laid out again in July what we should be doing. We should be providing all the protective gear possible. We should be providing the money the House has passed in order to be able to
Wait,
go out
go back to
and
the
get
protective
people
gear,
the help
Joe.
they need to keep their businesses open. Open schools that cost
Go
a
back
lot
to
of
the
money.
protective
You
gear.
should get out of your bunker and get out of the sand trap and get in.
That's pretty good.
Office and bring together the Democrats and Republicans and fund what needs to be done now to save lives.
So
was
if
pretty
we
quick.
would have listened
Wait,
to
you have 2 minutes.
So
if we would have listened to you,
he put a
the
hand
country
up
would have been
like
left
a
wide
fucking
open.
teenager.
Millions of people would have died, not 200,000, and one person is too much. It's China's fault. It should have never happened. They stopped
pause it real
it
quick.
from going in, but it was China's fault. And by the way, when you talk about numbers, you don't know how many people
Sorry.
died in China. You don't know how many.
Yeah, so was one of the things the president has been using in his band of idiots is that I closed down the borders from the virus of China. He technically did. But we don't say this, is that he didn't quarantine the Americans that were in China that came back. So he let all the people that were in China at the time come back in the country, then quarantined, didn't trace anything. And that's one of the reasons why it got out of control. And the bigger spreader was New York, was from Europe. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. The bigger spreader was from Europe, and always because it spread really badly to Europe as well. And a lot of this was unavoidable. So I don't blame the president in certain degrees. People were going to die, unfortunately, with this virus. But 200 and people say 205. My numbers is 212. But however many, 200,000, let's use that number. 200,000 people didn't need to die from this. It's the death rate is between 1% and about 4%. That's ridiculous. And there's no reason why that many people should have died. And again, that's not all on Trump. Governor Cuomo put a whole bunch of old people into nursing homes to make money off of them for Medicare prices. So that he sends a lot of people to die with that. A lot of Democrats are saying to go to don't worry about it. And a lot of their attacks against Trump was he was being xenophobic against the Chinese, which I blame Trump to a certain degree, because if he wasn't such a racist jackass, that wouldn't work as much against him.
Right.
So like they wouldn't have to use that protection over the Chinese people, of Asian people. And people that would attack Chinese people don't differentiate between Chinese and Korean and all the other people from that race. So I don't blame Trump as much. Like, it's not completely his fault, but he's the president. He knew about the virus in February. He probably knew about the virus even before that.
You downplayed it.
I mean, I knew about it in mid-February, and I'm just a dipshit podcaster and a delivery driver. Like, the most powerful man in the world, which has all the information at his fingertips, literally the smartest people on the planet at his disposal. So, yeah, get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, he knew, and he didn't want to do anything because I didn't want to panic anyone.
Don't want to cause a panic.
Which...
like, nobody's going to notice 200,000 people dying.
Yeah. Which, like we talked about in our previous podcast, like, what country were you living in mid-March? This country is completely losing their minds because the stock market was falling apart. People were losing minds, taking toilet paper, fighting each other because the president wasn't doing anything about it. So, again, I want to reiterate how incompetent our doofus president is, but I mean, so much of this is avoidable, and if the president passes away from Rona, that could have been avoidable as well, likely. But we'll go back to the clip if you don't have anything to say back.
I've got more to say, but let's tune back into the train wreck.
All right.
Now to save lives.
So if we would have listened to you.
You have 2 minutes, sir.
If we would have listened to you, the country would have been left wide open. Millions of people would have died, not 200,000. And one person is too much. It's China's fault. It should have never happened. They stopped it from going in, but it was China's fault. And by the way, when you talk about numbers, you don't know how many people died in China. You don't know how many people died in Russia. You don't know how many people died in India. They don't exactly give you a straight count, just so you understand.
If I was Joe Biden, pause that right quick.
I closed it, and you said he's xenophobic.
If I was Joe Biden, at that second, he said, "You don't know about the Russian." I would have said,
You don't know how much.
I would have said you should ask your buddy Putin about those numbers
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah,
along those
exactly.
lines. Okay.
Yeah, he should have turned that on him.
He's a racist and he's xenophobic because you didn't
Wait, sorry.
think I should have
Unrelated to
closed
your
our country.
COVID.
No,
Wait a
sir,
minute.
It says 2 minutes.
You didn't think we should have closed our country because you thought it was terrible. You wouldn't have closed it for another 2 months. By my doing it early, in fact, Dr. Fauci said, President Trump saved thousands of lives. Many of your Democrat governors said, President Trump did a phenomenal job. We worked with the governor. Oh, really? Go take a look. The governors said I did a phenomenal job. Most of them said that. In fact, people that would not be necessarily on my side said that. President Trump did a phenomenal job. We did. We got the gowns. We got the masks. We made the ventilators. You wouldn't have made ventilators. And now we're weeks away from a vaccine. We're doing therapeutics already. Fewer people are dying when they get sick. Far fewer people are dying. We've done a great job. The only thing I haven't
You have something to say, Pat?
is because of the
Oh my God. I knew a kid like this in elementary school who just kept talking and didn't say shit. Some people who, quite frankly, people who wouldn't take my side. They're all saying President Trump is doing a great job. No, they're not. Nobody's saying that. Your stupid ass supporters are saying that because they're fucking brainwashed.
And your dipshits around you are saying that because they don't want to get fired. So
No, you're fucking yes men.
fake news. No matter what you say to them,
Fake.
they give you bad press on it. It's just fake news. They give you good
Fake.
press. They give me bad press because that's the way it is, unfortunately. But
You
let
do
me just
bad
tell you something.
shit.
I don't care.
You
I've
get
gotten
bad
used to it.
press,
But
man.
I'll tell you, Joe, you could never have done the job.
he is right, though. The media is ridiculous when it comes to him on
I know
certain
how to
things.
do the job. I know how to get the job
Well, you didn't
done.
do very well in swine flu.
Oh, my God.
You were a disaster. Your own.
Let's play this little thing. Then we need to stop it because Jesus Christ.
Okay. Let's get it to the. Let's
Chief
get
of
it to,
Staff said you were a disaster.
14,000 people died, not 200,000. There was
A
no
very-
economic recession.
Sir, you made a
There was-
Far
no,
less
there was no
lethal
recession.
disease,
you made a
by the way.
point. Let him answer.
And there was we didn't shut down the economy. This is his economy he's shut down.
He leans
The reason
on
it's
that
shut
podium,
down is
man.
Because, look.
He
you
leans
folks at home,
forward
how
on
many
that
of you got up this
podium.
morning and had an empty chair at the kitchen table because someone died of COVID? How many of you were in a situation where you lost your mom or dad and you couldn't even speak to them? You had a nurse holding a phone up so you could, in fact, say goodbye.
You would have lost far
How
more.
Yeah,
many-
we're gonna have to talk about that too.
And,
You would have been
And by the way,
months late.
your own
You were
his
months behind me,
his
Joe.
own CDC director says we could lose as many as another 200,000 people between now and the end of the year. And he held up. He said, if we just wear a mask, we can save half those numbers. Just a mask. And by the way, in terms of the whole notion of a vaccine. We're for a vaccine, but I don't trust him at all, nor do you. I know you don't. What we trust is a scientist.
I
You
know
don't
you
trust
don't.
Johnson
He's
Johnson,
pointing at the
Pfizer.
people watching.
And
Okay.
by the way,
You know you
and
don't
then-
trust him.
Let me move on to questions about the future because you both have touched on two of the questions I'm going to ask. Focusing on the future first, President Trump, you have repeatedly either contradicted or been at odds with some of your government's own top scientists. The week before last, the head of the Centers for Disease Control, Dr. Redfield, said it would be summer before the vaccine would become generally available to the public. You said that he was confused and mistaken. Those were your two words.
Yeah.
But Dr. Slaoui, the head of your Operation Warp Speed, has said exactly the same thing. Are they both wrong?
Well, I've spoken to the companies,
It's on-
and we can have
punch Chris in the
It's
lip.
a very political thing because people like this,
Did you see that?
they're making political than save lives. It is a very political thing. I've spoken to Pfizer. I've spoken to all of the people that you have to speak to. We have great Moderna,
I've spoken
Johnson
to
and
all the
Johnson, and
people
others.
that
they
you
can
have
go
to
faster
speak
than that
to.
by a lot.
Okay, can you pause it right quick?
Because the left, or I don't know if I call it.
Oh my God.
Okay, so the swine flu. Now the Rona is way more catchable, so in some degrees it's more deadly. But the death rate for the swine flu is higher than the Rona. Rona is like 1 to 4%. I don't know exactly what the swine flu was, but it's more than that. That's what happens when you don't have a competent president that doesn't believe in science. Now, pretty certain that Ryan, well, my buddy's Ryan, pretty certain that Pack and I have a lot of disagreements and critiques of President Obama. Not a fan of his.
Oh yeah.
But comparable to Trump, President Obama is like FDR mixed with Ronald Reagan. This effective politician-wise.
Yeah, man. Let's see. Get to this last little part.
Yeah.
So you're
left, I don't know
suggesting
what
that
I
the
call it.
head of your Operation Warp Speed, Dr. Smawi?
I disagree with him. Yeah, no, I disagree with both of them. And he didn't say that.
I
He said
disagree.
It could be there, but it could also be much sooner. I had him in my office 2 days ago.
He talked about the summer, sir, before it's generally available. Just like
He said
Dr.
it's a
Redfield.
possibility that we'll have the answer before November 1st. It could also
I'm
be
talking about
after
when it's
that.
generally available. Not when it
Well,
will
we're
be.
going to deliver it right away. We have the military all set up logistically. They're all set up. We have our military that delivers soldiers, and they can do 200,000 a day. They're going to be
This is
delivering
the
the
same
vaccine.
man
It's
who
all
told
set
you
up.
by Easter this would be gone away.
Pause it.
By the war.
He's going to
So-
have soldiers delivering vaccines.
Doesn't look like authoritarianism.
Right. Have
Right.
I seen this movie before? Did it have fucking zombies in it? Because if it did, where the fuck is John Leguizamo? This is crazy, man.
Yeah, I'm not taking the vaccine. I'm already telling you, I'm not taking it for a while because I
I'll
don't
go
trust
to a
it.
regular doctor. I'm not gonna be standing at my door while while the military is there. Like, we're here to give you your vaccine.
Oh, the fuck
Did
you're
you
not.
see that? That's crazy, man. Just the fact that he said that just lets you know, like, he's been willing to do that.
The reason why, of course, I believe in science. I'm not some anti-vaxxer idiot. The reason why I'm worried about the vaccine, few reasons. One has to do with Trump. He wants to get that done as quickly as possible, help his reelection. That's immoral, but I get it. It's to a degree it's smart. But I mean, I don't know if that's going to work, and it's not looking like that's going to happen. Two, I don't trust any vaccines because usually it takes 3 to 4 years to get a vaccine. It's been 8 months, 6 months, be 8 months by then. Roughly.
I've lost track of time.
All right. 6 months, yeah. Started March. Yeah, we're a little under 7 months. So 8 months, let's do it like that. Yeah, that's way too quick. And again, the president pressures people into CDC and other doctors and scientists to do these things for he can help his reelection. So again, I don't trust President Trump. Honestly, I wouldn't trust President Obama or any other Democrat either. It's not a partisan issue for me. That's too quick.
Yeah.
I'd rather take my chances, and a lot of people are not going to take it either. So this thing's not going away, man. It's not going to go away for I don't know how long, but I worry. I worry a little bit. It's never going away, and we're just going to have to live with it. Is this going to become our second
Norm.
flu? Second flu, essentially.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get used to it, and like our bodies wise, herd immunity, kind of, and eventually they're going to have vaccines that aren't Trumpified, which will help. But when we don't have an actual cure for the flu either, we just have remedies for it.
Just
So,
have treatment.
yeah. So I worry. And Pack and I live in Tulsa. I see a lot of people. I see a lot of people that don't wear masks. It's It's not as big of a problem as it was earlier in the pandemic, but it's still a problem. My mother, I'm not going to go into too much detail. It's kind of personal for me, but my mother was in the hospital. Let's see here. So not last week, but the week before, she had some major issues, and I was really worried about her, obviously, like worried that she was going to pass away. And only one person could see her at during her whole stay. And initially it was supposed to be me to go see her and be that person. But it was kind of a mix up, and my sister went to do it. And so I couldn't see my mother. I couldn't go and see her in the thing. Only one person during the whole thing could see her, and that broke my heart. And I was so mad. And I wasn't fully mad at the people at the hospital. I was irritated with it, but I kind of still think only one person being able to see someone during their whole stay is kind of ridiculous in my eyes. I understand we don't want 20 people in one room at a time, but one person should be able to see their significant other, and it shouldn't have to be just that person. So anyway, I'm way more angry, and I'm still angry about the idiots that are taking this seriously enough, think it's fake news, overblown, or the people that do know this just don't give a shit because it's not affecting them, because either they're rich or they're young. So
yeah, man, it's crazy just to think, like, when we first started hearing about all this in February, we kind of assumed, like, well, we didn't know what it was, but once we hit like 20,000 people, we were like, whoa, what's going on? Maybe we need to really start listening, because there was a lot of people who did wise up, you know what I mean, as it went. And then you got people now who, even after their president gets it, I already know what's coming, bro. They're going to say that somehow Joe Biden and the radical left snuck the COVID into the debate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's either going to go that way or it's going to be, or Trump, is going to come out like right before the election and say, I'm cured. I got the cure. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it's a teeter-totter right now, man. It could go either way.
I think some people, if this gets serious, even more serious than it already is, I guess we can just head into it. So transition to non-nightmare debate to what happened with the president. So if we aren't aware, I don't know how you're not aware. This is the biggest story probably on the planet right now. So President Trump is in the hospital right now. He has the virus. He contacted it, got it from Hope Hicks. I think that's how you pronounce her name. One of his advisors. She got it from military, police, someone. It doesn't matter. But whoever gave it to her, she gave it to the president, the first lady, a couple of senators, a whole lot of other people. Just don't know yet. That's all the people.
She was passing it around.
Yeah, she didn't have a mask. She wasn't wearing a mask. She after the debate, they went on a Air Force One. They kind of was worried about her then, so they quarantined her on the plane, like back the plane. But that didn't stop it. And I worry that probably was even before that. They probably already had it before that. President Trump, they both were supposed to get tested before the debate, but our idiot president, he was late. And he just said, yeah, I'm fine. He probably said that, but they used the honor system because they didn't have time, which I think about, that's bullshit. Like, it's the president of the debate. Push it back 30 minutes. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
But anyway, so they didn't, and luckily for Joe Biden and everyone else. No, they might. 11 people, as of right now, have got it from the debate, like they were at the debate. But the Joe Biden, VP Biden, he doesn't have it. Fortunately, he negative, but he wears masks. He's not an idiot. So
And got mocked for wearing mask at the debate.
Yeah, and
Got to see the irony in this.
And it's just not an overly religious man, but if there is a God, he works in weird ways. Because
this is exactly how he works. Trust me. When you got it coming, you get it, dude. I mean, it's. Of course, I don't want to see nobody die. It's a horrible thing, but I've been serious about it this whole time.
Yeah.
So if something happens to someone who's been doing everything they're supposed to do, you can't help but be like, man, this virus is horrible. But when something happens to somebody who keeps constantly going against the grain and putting their self before other people and just showing no disregard for other human beings, when something happens to that person, there's a little part in all of us that goes, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, and you like the Bible says. Again, I'm not a religious man, but
I'm sitting down for this one.
Like the Bible says, you reap what you sow. So,
yes, you do. Yeah, man, it is what it is, right?
So, I do hope the president doesn't die. A lot of people on the left have been hoping that, and
I hope it's a learning experience. Maybe it'll at least wake him up so he'll quit playing and joking around about it.
So
maybe he won't.
One, I told this to Pack earlier, I think this morning or last night, is one, I don't want to put that evil in the world. I believe in karma. I'm an overweight man. I have high blood pressure. I have two parents that are in the 70s and both Republican doofuses. Yeah, I don't want that evil on me.
That's why there's two of us to do this show, because he don't want to put that in the air, but I do. No, I'm joking. I'm just playing. Get well. Thoughts and prayers. Here's my thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Did you get them? No. Oh, man.
So, I do worry. So, let's say hypothetically the president does die. Oh my God. No, I don't. Outside of Vice President Pence becoming president, I don't know what's going to happen.
I mean, I could even see it happening. I could see him getting sick, not even dying, just getting so sick, because he's not going to want to give up. But they're going to be like, look, you're so sick, we're going to let Pence take over. And then they're going to try to postpone the election.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not saying they will, but I'm saying it is a possibility. And with Republicans at this point, there's no telling what they'll do. There's, you know what I mean? They'll contradict themselves. They'll do all, I don't think the bar is so low.
So I was thinking to myself earlier before the show, Senator Tom Tillis, I think Senator Lee, I believe, is a senator. I think it was Senator Lee. He's from Virginia or somewhere. I don't know. Sorry, but I can't remember where it's from. But Senator Lee and Senator Tom Tillis from North Carolina both have it. And if they're sick enough that they can't vote, and a couple other people, senators, are sick enough and can't vote, I don't know. Old Turtle Man will be pretty pissed because they might not be able to get their Supreme Court until after the election.
Yeah.
And I'll have a wood around here. Knock on wood, if a couple of them pass away. Yeah.
Man,
that's going to change things because they can't, you got to have a majority to confirm her. And if you don't have a majority, yeah.
Man.
And since it's a special election in Georgia and in Arizona, if both of them win their elections, which I don't think is going to happen in Georgia, but Arizona's a complete, I think that's a lock almost. That person, which is that Mark Kelly, he if he wins, which I think he will, he takes over like the week after the election. So he's a sitting because it's a special election. So he will be a senator and he will have a vote if it goes after an election, which it might. If this spreads like it might, because the president, let's backtrack a little bit. The president had a event Monday or Tuesday, the confirmation of the Supreme Court person, Barrett, ABC, that's what they're calling her. So the senator that has it, Lee, I don't know if it's, let's go with Lee. I can't remember what his fucking name is. Lee actually wasn't wearing a mask. He's a fucking moron too. And he was around ABC as well. So all these dipshits for that inauguration, essentially, because she'll get confirmed if they're able to. None of them were wearing masks. All of them were hugging each other and stuff. Like, this is like, they just don't give a shit, or they're so fucking stupid. I don't get it. Anyway, that event might be a super spreader. I hope it's not. I hope nothing happens to the senators, but
a lot of people in the White House are getting tested positive.
Again, you reap what you sow. And President Trump, knowing that she might have it, Hope Hicks, because they kind of knew she might have it at that point. I think it was Wednesday. He went Wednesday or Thursday. Don't rat me. I'm pretty certain it was Wednesday. President Trump went to New Jersey for a fundraising thing. He probably wasn't wearing a mask. All those rich idiots probably weren't wearing a mask either. Because this doesn't affect them. They have the best doctors on the planet.
Yeah.
So,
plus they don't even go around Democrats. So how could they get it?
All right. It's a it's a hoax. It's a hoax. So it doesn't even.
What's going on, guys? Where are we at?
Right? It's a hoax. So it doesn't even exist. How you can't get a virus? It doesn't exist.
He's just saying he's got it because he's really hunting down Tom Hanks.
Anyway, so that's a curveball that people aren't thinking about right now, but I think they might be.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, man,
before May and the uprising we had with the social justice of BLM against the murder of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, I was petrified of Pence before that because I just thought Trump was an idiot, but then he started acting like authoritarian and terrified me with that. But if someone does have a president and he has to step down, which I don't think he will, or if he unfortunately passes away, Mike Pence you need to worry about that man.
Yeah,
because
this is the water border.
Yeah, he's a Christian Saudi Arabia man. He scares the shit out of me, honestly, because one, he's actually a good politician, even though he's kind of weird and robotic.
Mm-hmm.
Two, the establishment really likes him. So all those never Trumper idiots, they might be on his side.
They would have somebody to believe in.
All those people that weren't going to vote, Republicans weren't going to vote for Trump or maybe they voted for Biden just this one time around, they're going to go right back to their party. Maybe if Pence is the thing, maybe they, so that's something else to worry about because Joe Biden, again, is a terrible candidate. If Joe Biden wasn't such a terrible candidate, I would have called this race a couple months ago. But he's a terrible candidate. Trump is the evil genius, I think. The Republicans do whatever they can to screw everyone out of voting. They're already doing that in Texas. They had 11 mail-in centers to mail in the thing. They went all the way down to 1.
Closed, yeah.
So
voter suppression is at an all-time high, guys.
No, they're going to do a lot of fuckery.
Mail-in voting.
Because it's looking that it's going to get bad, really bad.
Yeah, he's been setting it up this whole time.
Like
Setting up the board
landslide
for it.
like Biden landslide the president if there's no chicanery happens. Texas is in play. I don't think he's going to win Texas, Biden, but it's in play. So they had to spend money there. Iowa, I think, actually is in play. I wouldn't be surprised if Biden wins Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona's in play. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins Arizona. Florida, I think Trump's going to take.
Yeah, Trump's going to get Florida.
Georgia's not in play, but they're going to have to spend money, which they don't want to. Ohio's in play. I wouldn't be shocked if Biden wins that. I don't think he will, but he might. They had to spend money there. North Carolina's in play. Pennsylvania's going to probably go to Biden, I think. Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, I think it's going to go to Biden. So, and you got to think about it, like South Carolina, the polls are close between Lindsey Graham and his opponent, Harris. Amy McGrath is getting annihilated by Turtle Man.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like,
despite her stupid ass ads.
Like, I don't know if you've seen this. I know Pac has. I've seen it to him. But Amy McGrath, she's running for Senate in Kentucky. She is a Trump Democrat, which, in other words, she's an idiot, grifting centrist that thinks that Republicans want to vote for a Republican light, which, I don't know, this is like the establishment advisor are the dumbest people on the planet, I think. Why would you vote for a Republican? Why would you vote for Republican light when you just vote for Republican? So her play is that Mitch McConnell's been blocking everything Trump wants to do. So she's trying to deal with Trump supporters, and it's not going to work. Like, that's so stupid. People have given her so much money. Like, I think she's raised like $50 million. That's literally burning money. Mind you, she's such a shitty candidate that Charles Booker, that until the uprising of the BLM thing, only political nerds knew who he was. I knew who he was, my job. But most people didn't know who he was until that happened, and he got a ton of press. And he almost beat her with like a 1 to 20 guy. I'll spend 1 to 20. He raised like $1 million. At that point, she raised like 40.
Yeah.
And she barely won that. And the only reason she won that is because of the mail-in voting, because a lot of people's already made the decision by then. So I don't think either one of them would have won, but at least Booker would have kept it close. Right. I mean, it probably forced Turtle Man to at least change a couple policies. But again, so Republicans are scared, man, and they should be. Yeah. They should be. And I don't know what's going to happen with the Republican Party if Trump gets annihilated and they lose the Senate and they lose even more House seats. But
you'll see a split in their party. That's already started.
Yeah, I think so. I think the establishment wants to go back to Mitt Romney, Jeb Bush, Paul Ryan, tax cuts, which Trump did it as well, but libertarianism and warring about the dead and everything. And so you're going to have the base that wants to continue with Trumpism. Some probably won't, but some definitely will. And the establishment doesn't want to do that because they don't like Trump. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. You got anything else to say, Pac?
No, I'm just we took a break for a couple weeks from doing this, but everything is back going. So yeah, we're gonna stick with the story and try to keep you guys updated. We're still on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We need y'all to share, like, subscribe, send to your people, tell them to subscribe. We need as much support as we can get right now so that we can keep doing this.
Please, please try to tell your friends about us. We truly want to do this as a career.
We're average Joes.
and do a lot of other things that help the progressive movement move forward. We want to be able to platform progressives that no one's ever heard of that run for House or Senate or State House and things like that. And it's a clock, if that's what you want to know about.
I'm hearing it as surround sound.
But lost my train of thought. But yeah, we want to give platform to progressives that don't get as much pub for the bigger YouTube channels.
Yeah.
We want to do other things as well. We want to do what we were doing earlier. Want to have 1,000 subscribers so we can do live videos.
Right.
And unfortunately, money requires that. And if we were able to do this more, we have more content, of course. Mm-hmm. But if we're able to do this more, that costs money. We live in a capitalist society, unfortunately. Can't do anything without money. So
right.
We don't have a Patreon right now. We're not at that point right now, subscriber wise. But we will, when we get a bit more subscribers, we're going to start really pushing a Patreon page. And him and I are going to go over what we want to give perks and everything else.
And other shows we've got. And
So again, if we have a Facebook page, we have a Twitter page, we have an Instagram page, subscribe, please, like, give comments. I love to share as well. Mm-hmm. I'm super active on Instagram. Pax more on the Facebook page. Him and I kind of need to start doing that more. That's more on me than him. Twitter wise, I need to do that as well. I just hate social media. I'm not very good at it. And I think it's really annoying. Kind of like a boomer when it comes to that. But yeah, again, like, I'm not trying to have this a Telemundo ad or something, but we really need to we need to get more subscribers so we can actually have a viable platform.
Yes, for sure.
So that's pretty much all I got to say.
All right. Well, thank y'all for joining us. This has been The Uprising. We'll see you next time.
The Uprising.